All right, everyone. Well, we are back this morning and we are joined by Australian UFC standout, Jamie Mullarkey. So, Jamie, thank you very much for joining us today. Getting right into it, Jamie, you've got a variety of finishes in your record from submissions to ground and pound to TKOs to opponents retiring in the contest. A lot of fans know you as someone who always comes to fight. Do you think that some of the more casual fans see your scrappiness and willingness to fight, and because of that, they underestimate the fact that you are a complete and well-rounded mixed martial artist?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. Like everyone's expert on fighting when you haven't been in there too. So yeah, it could be plenty of guys saying that.
Jamie, one thing we see in the sport of MMA is that the evolution of the evolution of fighters, and the game is always changing rapidly. In order to evolve yourself as the game sort of evolves around you, do you focus on adding new skills into your arsenal, or more so fine tuning and refining the skills that you already have?
No, 100% adding new skills.
Mm.
Yeah, like I'm always trying to get find new ways of doing things, do everything that I'm doing better. How can I do it better? How can I improve on every aspect of the game? That's like a never ending. Like it's something that you're chasing forever.
Mm.
For sure. So, Jamie, your striking coach is obviously the former Ultimate Fighter winner and UFC vet Ross Pearson. And it's very clear that you guys have a very good personal relationship as well as a good relationship between a coach and a student. How instrumental had Ross's guidance been to you, especially in the striking department, since you two started working together?
Yeah, massive man. It's been unreal working with Ross and just being able to relate to him as well. That's always been a big thing and just everything that he shows, like I'm on, he's always getting me a lot better, getting me my head in the game that little bit more. And yeah, it's just like it's still fucking awesome just to work with him, man. It's unreal that he got to come down. Like I'm just from the Central Coast, like it's such a small little part of the world, and
Mm.
out of all people that could have come here, like Ross Pearson comes here, like it was kind of like it was sort of meant to be, you know.
Mm. Jamie, obviously you ended the end of the cage last time against Jalen Turner, and look, it didn't turn out the way you wanted it. But in saying that, I've always loved the saying that you either win or you learn. And I think a loss, if taken the right way, can be a really good learning experience. Especially, you're still young, man. You're still 27, so you still got plenty of time. What did you feel you learned from that fight that you feel you can bring into your preparation for the next fight?
Man, that's a good question, and yeah, definitely, I've always come back a lot stronger and learned from my losses.
Mm.
Um, I think that the biggest thing that Jalen probably taught me would be keeping my composure a little bit more. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything that I hit Jalen with, because like it was a close fight. I thought it was a close fight until that point.
Mm.
Um, and it was probably some just decision making that could have been better on my part. So learning to take the fight where I need to take it, and making the right decisions under that pressure. That was a big thing that I think I'm going to take away, and yeah, keeping my composure a little bit more and being in the moment. So I'm looking forward to like taking these little lessons and showing where I've improved come next bout.
Mm.
Well, that leads into our next question, Jamie, and you just kind of touched on it, which is you've talked in the past how your earlier losses in MMA really strengthened you and helped shift your mindset from not worrying or thinking so much about what your opponent's going to do and more focusing entirely on what you're going to do. Are there times in the fight game where you find you can still maybe fall into that trap of over focusing on what the opponents will do? And if so, how do you mentally reorientate yourself to just focusing on what you need to do in the cage?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that you can fall back into, and the only thing that you can do is just try and stick to what you're good at, what you're trying to do, and that's why we have game plans at this level too. At this level, you can't really just go in and wing it. You got to have a game plan of what you want to do, how you want the fight going, and you've got to just be up here and make that happen. So yeah, that's all you can do with that.
Jamie, you've always been a pretty active fighter amongst the UFC roster, with all of your UFC fights coming in either October or March. So, is an October return date something that's in your pipeline at the moment, or is maybe a return soon or something you'd like to do?
Oh no, I definitely want sooner. I'm hoping to hear some news in the next week.
Awesome.
But yeah, we're pushing to get back in there ASAP.
Awesome.
Yeah. Jamie, obviously a good friend and training partner and also a former opponent is Alexander Volkanovski, who's obviously doing quite well at featherweight. As you are someone who has been around him in the training room and also competed against him, how do you think a move for him to 155 pounds would play out in terms of the size difference, but also Volk's power?
Yeah, that would be like something interesting for everyone. I think. I think that he would be fine going up to 155 because he's naturally like such a big dude to start with. Anyway, yeah, like it'd be interesting to see how he goes up there. But man, I think like he's just a different sort of beast, and I think that he'd be more than fine at 155.
Yeah, same. As someone who's fought all over Australia, Jamie, but as an amateur and as a professional, what do you feel is needed to bring MMA in Australia to the level of mainstream popularity that we see? With rugby league, rugby union, cricket, all those sort of sports. What do you think we can do as a community, to really boost the stock of MMA in Australia?
I think just to get around the local scene. I think that the real MMA fans, if you're a fan of the UFC, like check yourself or not check yourself, but just go back to like your own roots and where because we've got an amazing Australian local scene, and it's only getting better. Like it's just the evolution of the sport, like you said, it's crazy. So. Like the thing that we got to do is just watch our local shows or support your local shows, get down to them, and I think that we're starting to see like a bit of a premiere sort of shows taking over in Australia. So like they're like Eternal MMA, they're signed exclusively with Fight Pass now. They're starting to show that we are one of the other big spots in the world for fighting. Like we've got fucking we've had two champs from Australia, and then we've got Israel Adesanya from New Zealand just next door. That's big, man. That's huge. So, like to say that we don't have it's a mainstream sport, but to get everyone else enthusiastic on it, I just think that it needs to get a little bit more, maybe a bit more publicity in the media. That would help a lot. And then yeah, just to see the shows still doing what they're doing and starting to make a bit more of a name for themselves. That's what we need, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Jamie, look, man, we don't want to take too much of your time. We really appreciate you giving us the time for this morning. I know you're tired after training and the ice bath gets you. So, man, we appreciate your time, and we'd love to chat again to you. Before your next fight, man, we'd love to chat again.
Cheers, boys. Legends.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, Jamie.
Very much.
Lads.